button just came off my skirt. Oh.
Okay, let me get my ringer off on mine.
Yeah,
Getting all these
dreams.
dreams. Did they send a picture of the baby yet?
Mm-mm.
I guess they're cleaning it up.
Ah.
Hey, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning.
We're all excited here because
we got
Carl will tell y'all.
I got a new great grandbaby, and Carla, she's got
Yay!
a new grandbaby.
Ashton Charlie Thompson.
Yeah.
Born at 9:47, just a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Shelley and
Yeah.
Shane.
Yeah.
Can't wait till we
We
see
don't
him.
have stats yet on him, do we? How much he weighed and all that?
Mama's holding the baby. Everything went great. That was the last text.
He looks so pretty,
Thank
Carla.
you.
So we're excited about the new baby this morning.
Yes, we are. And thankful, too.
Yes.
Everything
Yes.
went good. Okay, so welcome. I'm Linda.
And I'm Mary.
And we are Pinky Mama's Cakes, Cookies, and Candy, and also known as Pinky Mama's Sisters in the Kitchen. So we're a little bit hyper, a little excited this morning, but we're making something very simple, something that our Ma Lee made years and years and years ago. And some of y'all may have seen this recipe, but I can promise you that we got it from our Ma Lee. So wherever else y'all saw it from, probably what?
Oh goodness, I was a kid. That was one of the things that
60 years ago?
Ma Lee made, yeah.
So they're lemonade pies, and they're real easy. It's a no-bake pie, but you do bake the crust. And that is if you don't want to use a ready bought crust. I love to smell those graham cracker pie crusts cooking in the oven. They smell amazing. So we're going to get started. I think I want to make the filling first. Now this makes 2 pies. And I think I'll make the filling first because I've already got one pie crust done, and then we'll show you how we're making the pie crust. And that way we can stick this one in the refrigerator because they do need to set a bit before you serve them. So let's see if I can remember how to do this. I got to get my lemonade out of the freezer. Okay. So and again, this makes 2 pies. We're going to use 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk. This is not evaporated. It's sweetened condensed. You see I've got 1 store brand and 1 e-brand. Doesn't matter. So we're going to get those, and then we've got 2 8-ounce containers of Cool Whip, and I bought the extra creamy. You know, you don't have to, but that's what I bought. So 2 containers of this, and then 2 small cans of frozen lemonade, and the lemonade needs to be frozen. And you know, I can't find small cans anymore.
I was waiting for you to say that. They do not have small cans,
So
but that's what Ma
one
Lee.
big can.
Yeah, that's what Ma Lee always used, was those little small ones. But they don't make them anymore. I have looked. Matter of fact, they stopped making them several years ago because I have this one recipe. I have tried so many times to get that little can, and they don't have them. They just don't make them.
And these cans look completely different. This, you can use Minute Maid. This is Walmart brand, but there's a lot of stores that don't even carry it in.
I know
Did you know that?
I do.
They're very hard to find.
Yeah.
But if you're looking in Walmart, it's in the frozen section with the fruit, and it's very easy to overlook. I overlooked it several times before I found out where they were at.
I was looking for orange juice like that the other day. Where was I at? I was in Walmart in Longview, and I couldn't find it, so I went and I stopped one of the Walmart employees and asked, and you know, she sent me all the way to the back of that store, and I told her, I said, ma'am, I'm looking for frozen orange juice. She said, yeah, it's back there. Well, I went all the way back there. She was wrong. It was just the refrigerated orange juice, and so I went back to the freezer.
It wouldn't have been in the dairy section. It would have been in the frozen section.
And it is by the fruit.
Okay. I don't know if you want to empty this out or not, Mary. I got that
Which
little one
one?
because it's a little.
This one?
Yeah, it's a little sturdier than that other
You just
one.
want it poured in here?
Yeah.
So this recipe makes
It makes two
two
pies.
pies,
Yes.
but you're using 2 cans of
Yes.
this and 2 whipped cream, so they could have it. Can they do that?
They can
Because some
do it.
recipes you can't. It makes 2 pies.
They would have to have the can of lemonade. That's the only thing.
Okay, that's
And that's
the
that's
key.
why I just
Right.
decided to make 2
Right.
instead of
Yeah.
making 1.
Right.
In fact, I would already made 1 this morning, but I didn't want to have to fool with half in it, so
Right.
I decided I would do it like this.
Okay.
We are sponsored by Imperial Sugar, and we're going to be using some Imperial powdered sugar today, and we're actually using that in the pie crust and also in the whipped cream that I'm going to make. That is so yummy.
Oh, I know.
Now, y'all know I love sweets. It is hard for me to resist something made
Yeah,
with Eagle
yeah.
Brand milk. It's so delicious. But I'm not going to eat any of it.
I think I got all
See
I
if I
can
can-
get out of that. It won't. It's on this spatula, and it just.
Do you ever use your teeth to try to pull something loose? No, I don't.
We have pictures.
I got a picture of the baby.
Oh,
Let me see.
Let me see.
Oh, how precious. How precious. Oh. Okay.
I always wait for that first
I
picture
know.
of Mama looking at
Yeah.
the baby.
Yes, it is so.
It's
I
just
want to
something
cry.
that
Happy
yeah.
tears.
I
Now,
know.
see, this is frozen, and that's how you want it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to dump this out in here. And if you are a pack rat, you can actually save these containers and
Yeah.
use it for.
I got to put down it. You want to use this back?
I thought I was going to do it now. That's cold.
I made a drink the other day with orange juice like that, and
I used to make punch. You know, around
Mhm,
Christmas, we used to
mhm.
make punch with frozen juices.
pineapple. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Now we're going to put this in it. Now this just mixes up really, really quick. And I'll get it over in a minute. I was trying to keep you from doing all the hard work,
That's
Mary.
all right. That's not hard.
And again, you want this all to stay in the freezer until the last minute, because you want it to be cold. And then we're just going to mix this up real quick with the mixer. And
That extra creamy is better.
I think so too.
It is better. It is creamier. That's just what it says. It's creamier.
And a lot of people, you know, they might turn their nose up at something like this because it is. Oh, I didn't even get
I was
all
wondering
that
if
out of there.
I was wondering if you'd seen that. With that spatula, sometimes it'll leave off some. You know, whenever you're.
I think I got the biggest part of it in there. I'll just use my fingers. Okay. All right. And then get my mixer on. We're just going to mix this up real quick here.
And you've got the crust already made.
I've got one made, and
Oh,
then
okay.
we're going to pour about half of this in that crust. And then we're going to, let's move that over just a little bit. And then we'll make the crust for the other one. That sure brings back memories, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I love it. Lemon pie. Yeah, if you was able to buy those little cans, yeah.
And you can figure it out, but
Yeah.
a lot of times in these frozen things, all that good syrup's in the bottom, and you don't want to put
Right.
half of the
Exactly.
sludge and all of the good stuff in the other one.
Chuck makes the pie similar to this, it's a strawberry pie.
Does it?
Remember? It makes,
Oh, yeah.
it makes 3. It makes 3. Here's the recipe.
Oh, this one, maybe too much for these two little piping because they're not real big. Trying to get that mixed up good.
Nice weather, nice drive this morning. Carla met me in Kilgore and we rode together. That was sweet. Yeah. That food where it was frozen almost, wasn't it?
Now, you know, I didn't want to leave mine sitting out. If you left it sitting out a bit, you know, it could have not taken quite that long to mix that, but I don't here. Okay, so I'm going to get my pie
You want
crust
me to get-
that
I'll
I've
get it.
got done. Thank you, Mary. And then, and you can see that this is not a deep pie pan. And the reason I'm using these instead of my regular pie pans is because I'm giving this away. And I didn't want to give away one of my good ones. So, don't that smell good?
Yes, it does.
I just love to smell something baking like that.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Can I
just,
help you?
yeah, I'm going to just kind of pour that, Mary, and if you just kind of get it where it's.
I think that's enough. What do you think? You might want to add more. It's gonna make more than 2 pies. Do you want some more in this?
I think it's just a little bit more, so it'll be real full. I could put this in a whole pie pan and,
And what do you think? Do you want some more or not?
well, it's up to the pie crust,
Yeah.
and if we take it any higher,
Yeah.
it's gonna
Yeah, I think
it's
that's
gonna
probably enough.
overflow. So
Right.
I'm gonna set this bowl in the refrigerator just because I don't want it to sit out,
Right.
and also I'm gonna set.
Because this has to be chilled
Yeah.
in the refrigerator.
Now it's going to set, and then we're going to do a little decorations with some whipped cream, homemade whipped cream, and some real lemon on top of it. But I'll get this out of the way here.
What do you want me to do
And
this? You want me to put it in the
I think I've
refrigerator?
got a place in the refrigerator, but
Okay,
I need
I'll
to
do.
find 2 places. I wasn't thinking
Okay.
about the bowl, so I only fixed a place for one. I don't know, Mary, if you can set it in that one or not. I've got so much stuff in these refrigerators.
I'm not so sure that I can put it in here.
I have just, you know, you
You
try
have a place made in the refrigerator?
I do, and the one in here,
Okay.
I'm sorry, Mary. See that little spot down there?
Yeah, there's room for the bowl. I'll
Okay.
put the bowl in here too.
I should put something over that, but it's not going to be in there long, so hopefully that'll be okay. Okay, so now we're going to make the crust, and I'm going to show you how we make it. So I'm going to use the same bowl that I used this morning, because all it's got in it is butter and powdered sugar and graham crackers. So if you want to buy your graham crackers already in crumb, you can buy a box of graham crackers, and I honestly didn't price them. Do you know how much they are?
No, it's been a while since I bought some. I bought some when I went to Town Talk in a big bag.
Yeah, you can get them at Town Talk. That's a discount salvage grocery store. But I just bought the box, and I paid real close attention to how many it took, because you know when
Maybe
you're
about 18?
crumbling something.
Is it 18 crackers?
No, it took 2.5 sleeves is what it took. So
Okay.
it takes almost a sleeve for a cup. So I am going to measure these, but for the 2 pies, it is 3 cups of graham crackers.
So you're using 1.5 in this one?
Yes.
That's your half in it.
And if it's more than 1.5, I'm going to put the rest of it in here, which I've dropped a little bit in there, but
Yeah.
I think I pretty much had this
Okay.
measured, so that's pretty close.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mary.
That's okay. We both had the same
I
idea
do
at the
like
same time.
I do like you do me when I'm at 12.
Yeah.
Grab it. Okay. So now what you could do if you wanted to, and I actually was going to do that, and I think I may do that. I'm going to use, if you'll give me 1/4 cup of powdered sugar in.
Okay.
I think I'm going to put this back in there and blend this together.
Okay. 4th
Yeah. And then I need that butter melted. and we're using 6 tablespoons of butter. It is salted butter, and
I can use your new
it's
microwave.
a lot of butter, but I used it because that's what the recipe said. So I'm going to stick this back in here just to blend the powdered sugar in with the graham crackers, so I don't have to make sure there are no lumps or anything. You're more than welcome to use a whisk or fork or hands or whatever you want to use. Let's see. Oh, no wonder it's not. I don't have my blade in there. Oh, that's not going to work. I've already got the stuff in there and I didn't put my blade in there, so
I have done this so many times.
I'll just do that. I thought I was being smart.
I have done that so many times.
Has to
Get
have
the
a blade to
blade.
work.
Yeah.
All right, so
And how much butter was this that I melted?
it's 6 tablespoons.
Okay.
And again, that's a lot of butter, and I know that. And I suspect that Ma Lee probably at times might have used real home-churned butter too.
Yeah.
Okay, now you'll see there are a few lumps in there because I didn't get it blended like I wanted to. But I think this melted butter is going to melt it anyway. I'd really like to use a fork doing this. Do you, Mary, when you're doing your butter and graham crackers?
I usually use a spoon. I don't use a fork, but that might work better. I hadn't.
So we've got, this is for 1 pie. It's a 1.5 cups of crushed graham cracker crumbs, 6 tablespoons of salted butter melted, and 1/4 a cup of imperial powdered sugar.
Y'all see that? How y'all's screen is clear,
Yeah.
but my screen is blurry?
Why is it
That's
doing
what I'm trying to
that?
figure out.
That is so weird.
Because I've got a lot of comments about people saying that it's blurry, but on your phone it's not.
I know.
But on the screen,
It is. Oh, it has to
I
be
wonder
Facebook.
if I wonder if it
It's
is
something.
Facebook.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
to be Facebook. It's not on our end because ours don't show that it's freezing or nothing. It doesn't show it's blurry. But I don't know. I think Facebook is doing something. Either that
I
or
don't
somebody
think
else
so.
is trying to.
I think it's. We're gonna figure it out. We're just. Yeah, Lynn Atwood said it is blurry today on other ends.
That's just, it's
I don't
so
know.
irritating when it does that
I
because
don't know. What?
Someone made a comment and said exactly what it was. I'm going to go back through my notes
Okay.
because knowing what it is, what it's
Right.
the technical term for it,
Right.
is the first step in figuring out how
Have to correct
yes,
it.
yes.
I don't know what it is.
I'm gonna look into that after the show so we can figure out what is causing that.
Okay.
you know, to people that, well, not to everybody, but to a lot of people that get on and watch us every time that we're on live, and we do very much appreciate it. It might not seem that what we do is really that big of a deal, but I'm telling you, it's work. It's work getting the ingredients, making sure you've got them all, and your husband hasn't done something with some of them when you, at the last minute, then thought you had them.
Do you ever use a measuring cup to do that?
I don't, but
Okay.
you certainly can if you
No.
want to.
Well, I just maybe that you around, especially around the edges, you know.
Yeah. I know you used to put another pan in there. I thought I
Yeah,
got this
yeah,
going.
and I've done that too.
Yeah, that's better than having my hands in it. Thank you, Mary.
You're welcome.
I knew there was other ways to do this, but I just got my hands right in it.
Well, it's okay. It's all right. It's just to me, it seemed like
it is.
And I figured you did it, and you just forgot to do it. And I figured you already did it.
I didn't, but I
Oh,
did
okay.
know there was other ways to do it, and I just didn't. I actually was going to use my little cookie press, that little wooden one. That's what I had planned to use, and I didn't get it out. So we're going to cook this, and on the recipe for our members, on the member page, it says 300, and I suspect Molly cooked on a gas stove, and it wasn't actually gas; it was butane.
Yeah.
Or propane. Was
Yeah.
it propane?
I think it
Butane?
was. I think it was propane. Yeah.
And it does cook a little different than
Yeah.
electric stoves do.
Yeah.
But she cooked this 300 for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And I cooked it on 300, and it wasn't cooked well enough
Yeah.
to me. So I bumped it up to 350.
Yeah.
So I think that I would cook it on 350 for, set your timer. You might want to check it at 12 minutes, but like 15 minutes. And I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm
Okay.
putting this on a cookie sheet, and I'm going
Okay.
to pop it in the oven.
Okay. Sure does smell good.
I know, I love
it.
anything to do with graham crackers.
Yeah. I need to, matter of fact, Monday, when I cook, I'm making a pie Monday, and I'm using a graham cracker crust.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
And you're making your own, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
You might not be using the same recipe.
It's not. It's not.
Okay, so I'm just putting this on this cookie sheet just so I don't have to pick up
Yeah.
the pan and get it messed up.
Yeah, the pie I'm making, the crust is different, but it is graham cracker.
Okay, we'll do a little cleanup here. And do we have anything to talk about? We did our thank yous the other day, right?
Oh, yeah.
I think we did. Yeah. Oh, I need to thank everybody for the birthday cards again, for the people that sent them.
I'm feeling better than every day. It's different, but I'm feeling better today than I was yesterday. So I'm thankful for that. It's just taking me time. I'm figuring some of it out about how to when to take my medicine and when to put the phone down at night and not keep it on.
That's a big deal.
I fall asleep with the phone in my hand every night. So if any of y'all think I'm on Facebook, most of the time I'm asleep and it's still on, not because I fall asleep. So
Okay, so I don't have it quite all cleaned up, but I've got some of it cleaned up. I think I can push this other out of the way. So we're going to make some homemade whipped cream. I've got my bowl and beaters in the refrigerator getting them cold. And for those of you who make the homemade whipped cream is not sweet. So you want to add some sweetener to it, and I'm going to use powdered sugar, probably like maybe a tablespoon and a half. And I'm also going to put some lemon flavoring in it.
okay.
And I
That'd be
was
good.
going to put
Yeah.
clear vanilla, and I thought, well, I'll just put lemon in it. This is lemon, so I'll just put lemon. And I've also got a lemon here that I've washed, and I'm going to slice some lemons. I love lemon. And do you remember?
You like it better than I do.
Yeah, Aunt Marie Aunt Marie was our daddy's sister. She was a mess. She was a mess. She drove a Lincoln Continental, and she had on high heels like my sister, well into her 80s.
Yeah. I don't wear the high ones
She'd
now.
get in that car, and she'd be dressed to the nines. I've got some pictures I need to post.
Yeah.
I went to see her twice when I was traveling, and first thing she told me, of course, I was in my own car. I'll drive. I said, okay. I wasn't going to ask her to drive her car. I was going to drive her in my car. She said, I'll drive. She probably didn't know how good of a driver I was, but anyway, it was funny.
And you like to eat lemons after your
eat 'em,
meal.
Yeah, when I'm
Not me.
drinking
Not me.
sweet tea, which I'm not, but I save my lemons, and I usually eat mine and anybody else's that wants to give them to me, because I love lemons.
I can't eat that much acidic things, and so I don't usually.
And of course, Aunt Marie had lemon trees in her yard. They lived in Pennsylvania after she married and raised her family in Pennsylvania, but they moved to Florida and retired down there, and then of course right before she died she moved back to Pennsylvania. But they had lemon trees in their yard. She would peel a lemon and eat it like an orange.
Yeah.
And I never knew that about my Aunt Marie. And for those of you who haven't been following us a long time and maybe haven't heard us tell this, because it's been a while since we've told this, but Aunt Marie is the one that introduced Mama to Dad.
Mm-hmm.
Mama and Aunt Marie were best friends in school.
Right.
And Mama came home with Aunt Marie, and Daddy was on the front porch, and he was shining his
Yeah.
shoes.
Yeah.
And Mama was real bashful, and she introduced him, and he said, "Take off your shoes, and I'll shine your shoes." And I can just imagine how Mama felt,
Yeah.
because I'm sure they were not nice shoes.
Yeah.
But Daddy always shined shoes, and it
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
matter to him
Absolutely.
how old the shoes were. His shoes
Yeah.
were always shined.
Yeah.
And
Dad was,
people used to do
he
that.
He was a smart dresser.
He was
very, very.
Yep, he loved to be dressed, my
Yeah.
daddy, and I'm not talking about in suits. He had suits,
Yeah.
but he wore really nice, I would say, dress casual clothes.
He bought his clothes at the
A
men's shop.
Yeah. In fact, when he died, there were clothes in
Yeah.
his closet that still
Yeah.
had tags on
Yes,
them.
it was.
He was very, very particular about the way he dressed. And Charles and
And
Edward
Mama
were
did
too.
yeah. And Mother creased. He wore khaki shirt and khaki pants. And Mother starched and ironed and put those pant stretchers inside his khakis where they had that crease in them. And of course, you know, kids follow what their mamas do, and I did that for my husband. I put those creases in his blue jeans.
But she not only put them on
Starched
the
them.
stretchers,
Yeah.
and this was Daddy's idea. My daddy was before his time in a lot of things. And Mama was a very smart woman, too. Daddy used to say she was the smartest woman he knew. But Daddy decided, because he liked his pants creased. And if any of y'all have ever had anyone in your family that drove a truck and was in a truck a long time, your pants get wrinkled. And so Daddy decided he wanted the seams. He wanted a permanent seam. He had Mama to sew permanent seams in all of his khakis. And he
Down the front.
Yes, right in the middle. So it looked like, you could tell it was a stitch. It looked like a creased
Very,
seam.
very tiny. Yeah.
And he went in a store one time, and they always called him Mr. Cecil, and he traded.
Yeah.
Remember how he would trade?
Yes.
He was selling watermelons. He'd go in, and they'd say, "Mr. Cecil, what you got today?" And he said, "I got some, some diamonds or black diamonds or whatever he had." He said, "How many do you need?" And he said, "Well, what do you need?" And Daddy said, "I need gas, and I'm going to get some food, hot links,
Yeah.
soda waters,
Yeah.
light bread, milk, whatever he'd get." And they would trade, and there was no money passed.
Yeah.
He would trade watermelons for what he needed.
Yeah.
And I think maybe some people still do that today, but that was something that was done quite often back
Yeah.
then.
Daddy was a penny pincher.
He always
he believed in saving money.
always had money in his wallet.
Yeah, he did.
Always had money in his wallet. With the day he died, and Mary, I think you've told this before too.
Yeah. He always had $100 bill. Besides the other money he had a $100 bill folded in his wallet. And when I went to the courthouse,
Yeah.
went to the courthouse to retrieve his items that was on him whenever they took him, from the hospital or wherever it was they had him anyway. They handed me all of his stuff, and they handed the cash to me and said, "This is the cash that was in his wallet," because I had to sign for it. I said, "We're missing $100." And they said, "Ma'am, there is not $100 in that wallet." I said, "Oh, there is too. Somewhere or another, there's a $100 bill in this wallet." And they said, "No, you can't find it." I found it, of course, and it was folded up in a little bitty square, way tucked up under one of the little pockets. And I pulled it out, and he said, we'd have never guessed there was any more money in that wallet, but he had it hid, and it was in there.
He always had a $100 bill in his pocket.
Yeah.
And do you know, we didn't know this until recent years. Some of our cousins,
They picked up
they
the same
picked up that
thing.
because they thought it
did.
was just something that
right.
Daddy always had a $100 bill.
There's two of them.
And
two
they-
I
of
do
them.
that too, and I never knew that he did that.
Yeah.
And I've done that my whole life. Kept
Yeah.
$100.
Yeah.
I
I
call
do
it
too.
my emergency bin,
Yeah.
I do
Franklin.
too. I told my girls now, anything ever happens to me, you know that there's a $100 bill somewhere in that wallet. So
I
you
guarantee you, our
look.
brothers did too.
Yeah.
And I told Mike one
Yeah.
day, I said, I took my wallet out and I said, now, you know, if I happen to have a wreck or something happens, I'm going to show you where I keep my secret money at. And I kept showing. He said, "Well, how many secret places do you have in that wallet?"
I pulled out a card one time to give to somebody, and $100 bill fell out, and I forgot that I had put that one in. I knew where my other one was, and she said, "I think you might want to take this back." I said, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that, having that there." I told the girls the same thing. Check all my wallets in every compartment, because every so often I'll stick one back, you know.
It's just something that I
It's
think
a little security.
makes an impression on a child growing up, and that did make an impression on not only us, but on a lot of our cousins too.
And they told, one of them told me, I do this because of Uncle Cecil did that.
Yeah, I've heard, I know one particular cousin that has said that to us.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll get the bowl out of the refrigerator and we'll make the whipped cream.
Okay.
Has anybody asked any questions about, because we're just sitting here chatting?
Lynn Atwood wanted to know if y'all remembered what was the very first video y'all did. I know it was in July, and what you made on it. Do you remember?
The very first one.
It's been 3 years ago.
One of them was biscuits. It wasn't not been the very first one, but it was biscuits.
7-Up biscuits.
7-Up biscuits, because Aunt Lucy taught us it was either 7-Up biscuits, and then one of the first ones wasn't the first one, was the apple and peach dumplings.
Oh yeah, that was really close at the beginning.
And I'm trying, and I know those are two I did, but I can't remember what it was.
I can't remember what I did, but I know
There is there's close to 500 recipes that we've done since we started, and videos. And if y'all want to go back and find those videos, I can tell y'all how you do it.
Why don't you do that while I get my stuff out?
Let me get my phone and show them.
I'm just dying to eat one of these lemons.
I figured you were. When you go to our page, Pink Mom's Cakes, Cookies, and Candy, where you're watching the video at now, at the top of the page, that's the page, and you see where it says post, about, videos, photos, and more. Hit videos. You hit videos, and it pulls up all of our videos. The signal is not pulling it up very good, but that would be all of our videos. I have my phone on airplane mode. I don't know, would that make a difference? Me trying to show?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Let me see.
I'm gonna interrupt just a second, Mary.
Okay.
I've got my beaters and my beater and my bowl cold. I put it in the refrigerator this morning. You don't have to do that when you're making homemade whipped cream, but it certainly makes it go a lot faster. Yeah. And you can keep talking, Mary, while I'm doing this.
Well, my signal is not coming up, but that's where you find our videos, our first videos. You can I did it just the other day, and I just click on videos, and you just keep scrolling down, 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 down. It's like I said, there's hundreds of them on there. But that's how you go back and look at a recipe. And on YouTube, if you go to YouTube, some of the first recipes that we done, the written recipe is actually printed where you can see it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to YouTube, which is Pinky Mom's Kitchen, and scroll down on the videos and some of those ones before we started our membership. Before we started our membership page, we typed every one of them recipes on our Facebook page. And so when little Linda transferred them over to YouTube, then they're on there too. Not all of them, but some of them are. Some of them are on there. Linda, I think chicken and dumplings might have been one of our first ones.
It could have been. Certainly could have been.
I just don't have, I don't get good signal here. So it doesn't.
I'm using about 1.5 cups of this, and this is heavy whipped cream. It's Kroger brand. I'm going to start the mixer over there just so it's not right here under the camera. And I'm going to use about 1.5 tablespoons of the imperial powdered sugar, and I'm going to use about 1/2 teaspoon of real lemon extract. I'm not going to put this sugar in there until it starts whipping just a little bit. And I won't put the lemon extract in it until it's whipped for 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. See, videos finally came up, and you just scroll down. You just keep scrolling down, and that's all of our videos. So that's how you go back and look at some of the older videos. It's just click on videos. And of course, we've got our membership page, which is off of PickyMouseKitchen.com. That all the recipes that we have and videos that we have done since October. We started in October of 21. October of 2021 is when we started our membership page, and then those recipes are all on our members page. But up until then, we posted the recipes under our videos. So there was, and y'all have a lot of you had problems getting that recipe. But I don't know why, because we posted it every time. But sometimes y'all couldn't find them, and that was another reason why we started a membership page, is because we were typing the recipes for y'all, and you still wasn't able to see them. So that's why we did that. So Linda, you want to show the
if you want to, you can. I just worded up the noise. I'm using a large bag, and I'm using the 1M tip. You want to cut off just probably about 3/4 of an inch here. And then I'm not using a coupler, and just push that down, fold your bag back, and this is what I'm going to put the whipped cream in. I'm going to use a little bit of this.
that's lemon.
Yes. That's good.
So now when did you put that on custom?
Yeah, I did. And how many minutes?
Are you?
I didn't put it on minutes. I just started it,
Okay.
and and you can
I
see
don't
how
usually do
quick
that either,
that it
yeah.
how quick that it comes together.
Yeah.
And actually, I think that's quick enough. You don't want to whip it till it gets
To
dry,
butter, yeah.
because if you do, then it's
Yeah.
not gonna work right. So let me grab a spoon out of the drawer there.
So, or here, I'll take you one. Is this what you want this
Yeah,
thing?
that's fine.
Now,
See how pretty that looks? And
do I need to move the camera?
And because I put the lemon in it, you know, you could use vanilla, but if you use vanilla, you need to use clear. We're just going to pipe some rosettes on the top of the pies. This was about 1.5 cups of whipped cream. I didn't measure it, but I pretty much know about how much it takes.
Someone said, kind of make sure your notifications are still on. You're still following them. Turn off airplane mode. It can interfere with your connections to Wi-Fi. I don't have this phone is
Your person, the other.
it was my personal phone that I had on airplane mode. It wasn't, and I did take it off of airplane mode for it to pick up those posts of those old videos. Yes, I did. But this, we don't have it on airplane mode for this. This phone is not.
Okay.
All right. Now, what are you gonna do?
Now, it's almost time to take that out
Oh,
of
okay.
the oven. In fact, I think it already
Okay.
went off.
Oh, okay.
Must have went off while I was doing that. I didn't realize it.
I didn't hear it.
So this needs to cool completely
Yes.
before you put filling in it.
Yes.
So I'm going to turn
It
the oven
smells
off.
so good.
Don't
Ooh,
it
it
smell
does
good?
smell good.
I'm going to put this in here in the utility room, and that's where I put stuff to cool. unless it's glass. If it's glass, you do not want to put
Yeah,
anything around
yeah.
air. If you do, it's going to
Right,
bust.
right.
But I put this in there and put it on the chest freezer and let it cool. And I'll grab the one out of there that we've got.
Okay.
Well, out of the
So you're gonna go back to the bar, Linda, to put the frost. Put the,
Yes, back over
Okay.
to the counter, yes.
Okay. I wish we had something.
No, we're
We're not.
commercialized,
Yeah.
so we have to move around because, we don't have, I'm not complaining. I thank God that I have a
Yeah.
modest, decent house, but,
I'll get you
we're
that.
we're not set up to where we got everything, that we can have and without moving around. So, I'm really not apologizing for that because, if we were in a commercial space, it would be completely different. But I do thank y'all for bearing with us because we do have to move around. Does that seem like that set
Yeah,
in here?
yeah, it does. Mhm.
One thing is because everything was so cold.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a 1M tip. M is in Mary. And it's a pretty large bag. And I'm just going to, and you don't have to do this, I'm just going to do some rosettes. You can do it fancy. You can do it any way you want to, but I just thought it would just be a little extra touch to it.
Make it pretty.
Yeah. And you can see that I've got a lot more than what I need here.
Yeah. And then this recipe, the amount that you have on the
Is
website?
Well, actually, I
Or did
didn't
you?
put that on there. I think we do have the whipped cream.
Okay.
It wasn't added. No, I didn't add it. So, but it's about a cup and a half of whipped cream, heavy cream, and then it's this is not going to fold over, but I'm just going to kind of make it fold over, and I'm just going to put one on there. About a cup and a half of heavy cream. You can use any brand you want to. I use Kroger's and buy Kroger's because number one, it's cheaper, and number two, it has a long date on it versus other store brands or other brands. And I like it. I've never had a problem with it, and I bought many quarts, and you can also buy it by the pint. Then it's got about a tablespoon and a half of imperial powdered sugar. You want to use powdered sugar. You don't want to use granulated because it would be gritty in there. So, and then about half a teaspoon of lemon flavoring. And if you were using the whipped cream for another flavor pie, you could either use clear vanilla, or if it was strawberry, you could put strawberry flavoring in. I think Watkins has one, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
A strawberry flavoring.
Yeah, McCormick does too.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause I got some.
So, let's see if we can get a pie thing on it and cut
Okay.
it.
You ready to cut this?
Hopefully,
I'm ready to taste of it.
hopefully it's not going to completely fall apart because you do need for them to set. Let me grab some saucers to
Okay.
put on Mary. And
It smells delicious.
find my pie taker in here.
Y'all probably noticed. Y'all may not pay any attention to it, but I did because I'm looking in the camera. I can see what's on the camera. And Linda has always, in the past, before she started losing her weight, she would always sit down, and I had to get adjusted to sitting when I come to this bar. Now I automatically come over and sit down, and Linda stands up. And that's because she feels so much better. I know it is. And your back, does your back not hurt too much?
My back does hurt, but it doesn't hurt as much. And I'll tell you one thing that I have noticed. I used to have headaches a lot,
Yeah.
and I don't have headaches very seldom ever. And I'm not, I'm not at where I need to be yet. And but I will get there. Hopefully, with
Yeah,
Laura's help, I'll
I
get there.
think she's looking great.
Okay, Mary, you can cut it. Y'all can sample. Help yourself. And you can take that lemon off if you want. I know you don't want that lemon. But,
While y'all are cutting the pie, I have a little something to share with you.
Okay. Now this is going to do better if it sets in your refrigerator because it's probably not set good enough right now.
There's
maybe I
a
took
lot
mine.
of comments telling y'all to have a wonderful Mother's Day.
Aww.
Mother's Day is this weekend. This is the last time they're filming together before Mother's Day.
Right.
And I just wanted to give a little memento to each one of y'all
Thank
because
you.
I've always had two moms, and I feel very special, unique, and just very loved.
You are
And
so
I have a little
sweet.
gift for Aunt Linda and a little
Thank
gift
you.
for Mom.
Thank you, Carla.
You can open with your
It's so
pie.
sweet.
And I'm so thankful for both of these ladies and all that they
That was
do.
real small.
All that they do to make this show a possibility. It's really thrilling to me that all of y'all get to see a little bit of what I experience all the time with them. They're really, really great people. And I love you so much. I love you so very much.
Thank you, Carla.
You're welcome.
Love you.
Y'all are
That
precious.
is so sweet. Aww.
You're always saying
Always
that.
be kind.
Yes.
That's sweet. That's beautiful.
Mom,
Thank
the
you.
one who
And
always
there's another one in there.
always laughs and always loves her kids. The glue that keeps the family together. A constant guide, mentor,
Y'all gonna have Mary crying.
and encourager. Home is where mom is.
That is so sweet.
Isn't that beautiful? Thank you, Carla.
And there's something else that goes with that I left. I'm going to tell you what it is.
Okay.
It's a tiny cup, antique,
Aww.
and it says Thursday's child will always go far.
And I was born on a
And you were,
Thursday.
I Googled it, and you was born on a Thursday, and you're the most ambitious person I know, and I love and respect, and then that goes with that.
And this is the
That's
scripture. It
sweet.
says, "May He grant you your heart's desire and fulfill all your plans."
That is
And it's on both sides.
That
Isn't
is
that
so
beautiful?
pretty.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Carl. That
thank
is
you.
so sweet. Mary's kids have always been so kind to me on Mother's Day.
I'm gonna let you cut that because I don't think I'm
And
cutting it.
it's not set, and I know that, but y'all can still taste
It is.
of it.
It's set.
Is it set?
Mm-hmm. Well, no, not as much as it will. No, it's not as much as it needs to be.
Well, it is.
I just
hard
couldn't
under
cut.
there,
I just
isn't it?
couldn't cut the crusts, and I didn't know if it was just me. You know, that I just didn't have enough strength.
I don't think it's just you.
It's because of it.
I wonder if we put this out on a plate.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And
You
cut
get to it better. Yeah.
Let's try that.
Yeah, it needs to firm up just a little bit more.
It's delicious.
Oh, I'm anxious to take a
I
bite.
know one
Me
day
too.
I could eat 2 pieces of this really quick.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Somebody, I know everybody always says, little's not going to hurt you. The ones that say that, y'all just don't know me. Because I wouldn't eat just a little. I would eat a lot. Okay, y'all, you can have as much of this as you want.
No, this is all I
I'm
want.
just,
I'm anxious to taste of it. Oh, I know it's good.
now this really needs set in the refrigerator probably about half a day, 3 hours at least. Don't you think, Mary?
Delicious flavor.
Can you taste
Delicious.
the lemon?
Oh yeah,
Here, all right.
absolutely.
Oh my goodness. Thank
Ooh,
you.
it's so
You're
good,
welcome.
Linda. It's so good.
So we'll put the
It's
rest
delicious.
of the filling in the other pie crust, and then these ladies are going to, hopefully they're going to take these pies with them.
I brought my
Hey,
cooler.
I don't really know if Mike will eat a piece
I
or
don't
not,
need to eat more than this myself.
but I really had planned to make one of these ahead of time and have it set,
Mm-hmm.
so it would cut, and it does cut beautifully when it's
Yes,
set.
it does.
But just didn't want to divide that lemonade because
Yeah,
I know
that's
the
fine.
syrup goes in the bottom,
Right.
and I didn't want to have to deal with that.
Right.
So
No, it's,
I just
it's delicious.
decided not
It's
to.
delicious.
So I had my boiled egg this morning and 2 strawberries. And
I had one of them cheesy
quiche
cheese this
quiches?
morning,
Oh.
and they was just as good microwaved. And a lot of you had asked about putting the cheese inside. You can, but I may try that next time, but it was delicious, even just warmed up in the microwave, just
I'm
a
sure
few
that it
minutes.
was.
And those potatoes in there kept it moist, because quichettes, they kept seeming to dry out.
Yeah.
And after you cooked them, but those potatoes, I think, is what kept it
That was
moist.
that was a good idea. And you know, you go to the frozen section in the grocery stores, and you can get any of this I call it fast food breakfast stuff that you can just pop in the microwave. It's expensive.
It is. It is.
And that what you made yesterday was a fraction
Right, exactly.
of the cost.
Braden and Linda and myself all had one this morning. They were good.
And something that you could cook ahead of time, and you're not in the kitchen that morning. So if kids are on the go, or if somebody is going to work, like little Linda or something, they could just grab something, throw it in the microwave, and have them a decent breakfast instead of grabbing a donut or something.
A lot better for you. But this pie is delicious. Y'all will love it. You like lemon, you're going to love this pie.
So thank y'all for joining us. I want to wish a happy Mother's Day to everyone that watches us.
Yes.
This is something that is not talked about a lot. We do have a lot of men that watch us, and there are men that step up to the plate and raise their children without a mother in the home. So I'd also like to acknowledge the men that act as both parents, as a mother and a father. And we have some very good dads in our family. We did have some one not so good, but thank God they're not in it anymore. You know I had to say that.
I knew you would.
Not called many names, but we do have some very, very good dads. When Misty and Josh and the kids were here a couple of weekends ago, it just touches you to see how the dads interact with their children.
Yeah.
The kids will grow up balanced because they knew what it was to have a dad in their home. And it really does make a difference. And we do have some very good dads in our family. Some very good dads that are there for their kids, and not only for their kids but for their spouses too. So happy Mother's Day to everyone that's lost your mothers. We wish you a happy Mother's Day, and we know that you miss them because we miss ours. Mama died May 27th, which is coming up pretty soon, in 2003. And your life is never the same after you lose your mother. If you had a godly, a mother that loved and nourished you, and I know not everyone has, and a lot of people lost their mothers at a young age, like Mike lost his mother at a young age, and don't even have good memories of their mother. And but we wish everyone a happy Mother's Day.
Yes, we do.
And we wish me a happy birthday, Saturday.
That's right. Saturday is Linda's birthday, and we will be celebrating with a lunch for her on Saturday.
3/4 of a century old.
So we might film a little bit of it. We might film a little bit of it.
Okay.
So we'll see y'all on Saturday for a few minutes. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Don't forget to count your blessings. Bye-bye.
And always be kind.
Right. Bye-bye.